Hey everybody, this is Matt, and we're back in the paint booth at Texas Toast Guitars. And I want to do the completion of the series of videos about using modern paints and the stuff that we use. So today I want to talk about Topcoat or clear, and I also want to talk about some of the equipment, spray guns, and that sort of thing. So we've already covered how we seal the wood, and we've already covered how we do translucent colors and how we do solid colors. Now we're going to talk about top coat, and I think that this is probably the stuff that makes the panties drop off, guys. Top coat and clear really make all the difference in the world. So for you guys who are using oil finishes, I know I really love the ease of oil finish, but the guitar buying public, I think, just has to have it be shiny. Maybe not, but you let me know. So what we're going to talk about is what we use for top coat, and what we have been using is the Omni MC270 Production Clear. Now this stuff is excellent, but it is not the top of the line clear coat that PPG makes. The reason that we use it is the cost is definitely within reason, and I think that the only thing that this doesn't have that the Deltron stuff has is a UV protectant, because it's made for cars. So if your guitar is going to get played out a lot, you can use the Deltron stuff, and that's cool too. Just ask your local PPG guy and they will bring you up to speed. The very cool thing about the Omni Production Clear and all the PPG top coats is that it is a catalyzing spray. So what we have been using is the MH277 Production Clear Hardener. This is a medium speed. So in about 4 or 5 hours, we go from having something that's been sprayed to something that's ready to handle. And not just handle, but if you really were in a hurry and you wanted to use a really fast hardener, you could spray something in the morning and by the afternoon be buffing it out. So that's one of the reasons that we really like this stuff over lacquer, is there's no 2-month waiting period while the lacquer sets up to where you can finally go to wet sanding and buffing on it. Okay, we also said that in this video we were going to talk a little bit about the equipment that we use, specifically spray guns. I've been fielding a lot of questions on a couple of forums about spray guns, guys who are kind of wanting to get into this. And since I'm here out in the booth, here's a couple things we've been working on. This is a base, it's ash, and it's been sealed. And the cool thing about that Simtex sealer, guys, is there's no grain fill on this, so it's just straight sealer, and we'll go ahead and sand this back and it'll be smooth as glass. But let's talk a little bit about some of the guns that we use. And since I was just showing you a sealer or a guitar that had been sealed, let's talk about what I used to spray that. This is a cheap gun that I bought at Home Depot. It's a Husky brand. It is not an Hvlp gun, but it is a gravity feed cup. And this cup is a disposable kind. I think we bought these at Harbor Freight for like $5 for a dozen of them. The reason we went with this gun is because it has a 2.2 orifice, and this stuff shoots sealer like it's nobody's business. We'll go through a half a cup and it just comes squirting out of there, and that's what you want for that sealer, because that stuff is way thicker than your standard DBC 500 or any of the Omni color coats and the Omni Clear especially. So now let's talk about what we use for spraying color. Here is an Hvlp Conversion Gun that we use. This one we also bought this one at Home Depot. It's a Husky brand. We put a regulator on it and a gauge, and this actually is a great little gun. I can't tell what the orifice size is here without my danger glasses. Looks like this is a 1.4. This works great for all the color coats. We use this for color exclusively. It's a great little gun. This is what they call an Hvlp Conversion Gun. So the air comes into it at 40 psi, and at the tip it comes out quite a bit lower than that. So anyone who says you got to have a bunch of weird Hvlp stuff, no, you just have to have a good compressor. You have to have a good gun. You know what I mean? Now you can buy all that conversion stuff, but it comes without a compressor. So anyway, so don't worry about that. For clear coat or for top coat, again, we're back to exactly the same gun as we used for the color. We have marked this one with a piece of blue tape, so we know this one is for clear coat. The cups are, you know, you can get a big cup or you can get that small cup again. And just remember to set your fan pattern to work with your paint. Do a little testing and you will not be disappointed. Here's a little touch-up gun. This is one of Chris's favorite guns. He brought it over. I always give him shit when he uses it, but actually it works really great. This is, I don't know how much he paid for it, but it's made in Taiwan. You know, there's not a whole lot of stuff going on inside the gun here. It's paint moving to an orifice and there's air blowing past it. I mean, if you take one of these things apart, it's like, that's it. And when you start to think about what the guys were using to paint cars and guitars back in the 50s, it's not exactly super high-tech stuff. So you don't have to spend a lot to get a decent finish. Now, I'm not suggesting that anyone who spent a lot of money on a really nice gun didn't make a good purchase. I always recommend buying the best tools you possibly can. But you don't need to spend, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars to get a really nice quality finish. These are some of the cheapest guns you can buy. I got this one at Harbor Freight and I had a 20% coupon and I think I spent like $9 on it. And it worked great for what I needed it to do, and that was spray metal flake. I don't know if you can see the flake on there. The reason that I didn't want to use the reason I didn't want to spray metal flake through a decent gun was because it's a real pain in the ass to clean up. As a matter of fact, it's worth $10 for me to use this, max this guy out with flake, and then just throw the gun away. I kept this one around. I've got a couple of these. They still work okay, but you know, for $10, I don't worry about it. They're just in the garbage. Finally, let's talk about when you aren't going to throw the spray gun away, how you clean it. We use lacquer thinner, and we get in there, we basically pull the gun apart and we spray lacquer thinner directly into the gun rather than soaking it in there. And we've been using these guys here. These are made in Switzerland. I forget, but basically it's a pump. And it's got a bunch of these different nozzles, and you can, well, you can actually, let's see here. You can actually get this directly into the spray gun, and you can put it right in there, and it puts the lacquer thinner in a little bit of pressure directly into the gun for you, so you know, you're not having to soak it in a big bucket full of lacquer thinner. Use very, very little of this, and then we have a container that we use for all the old dead lacquer. So, you know, I know it's cool to like fill up the cup with lacquer thinner and spray it out into your fan, but it's going to piss off everybody, including the EPA. So give it a little bit of that stuff, but these pumps are great to clean out everything. This is the all fabric guitar that has been double bound. And we are building this for our good friend Sonia. It's been routed for pickups. Under the pick guard was originally just a P-base pickup, but she wanted a different setup. So we've got a little bit extra hole there, which is kind of cool because we could eventually put a regular P-base pickup in there if she wants to. Anyway, so just to let you guys know, this one has not left yet. It's in the process of being cleared, and then it will go into the process of being wet sanded, and into the process of being buffed, and then into the process of being assembled, and into the process of being rocked out. So stay tuned for more on that. If you have any questions about top coat, aka clear, if you have any questions about spray guns or some of the stuff that we use, if you have any questions about PPG paint that you think we can answer that your local PPG guy can't answer, I don't know if I can help you, but please leave a question in the comment section below. If you have any questions about this bad dog, you can do that too. If you like content like this, make sure to subscribe. And if you like the video, give us the thumbs up. It's something that we really get off on. So this is Matt in the paint booth at Texas Toast Guitars, reminding you that if you're so smart, build it yourself. That's what I do. Thanks for watching, everybody.